component in the curl of H bar. Now we have to calculate what is the electric field in the R, what is the electric field in the theta directions. So we have both equations at a time. So now I can simply derive the what is the ER components. I already write this expression. So what is ER component, or I can say that, so what is ER component, I can write from the above expression, that is given by 1 by epsilon into integral of del cross H bar of R component into dt. This is what I written earlier. So if you need the ER component, you have to take the R component in the H. If you need the E theta component, you have to take the H component in curl of H. So now we have this one. So just I have to integrate with this one with respect to t. So this is the entire expression of the del cross of H R component. So simply I have to take the what is the integration of this one. So simply I am directly going to the integration part of this one. So here 2 ideal cos theta 4 pi is a constant, so take it outside. So here t term is there, here t term is there, so you have to simply take the integration for these two components. So now I am writing what 1 by epsilon is a constant, 2 ideal cos theta by 4 pi, and I am going to take the integration portion of this one. So minus omega by r square into v. So what is the integration of sine? Sine integration is minus cos. So that's why minus cos of omega into t minus r by v by, it will give us what is the constant value of this one. With respect to t means the constant value is omega only. Then if you doing the integration for this portion, again this is a cos integration is a sine only. So that's why it's simply given as sine of omega into t minus r by v by r cube into omega. So this is what exactly equal to the our ER component. If you just simplify this one, so epsilon is the new term here, again here omega and omega are going to be cancelled. So next if you simplify this one, if you write the same expression, so 1 by epsilon 2 ideal cos theta by 4 pi. So just if you remove these two, it's enough, minus into minus will become so plus now. So now r square into, so now omega get cancelled. So simply I have the only two terms. We have the term here is VR square. So that means this is the ER component. That means this is the electric field component in the R direction is given as 1 by epsilon into 2 ideal cos theta by 4 pi into cos omega into t minus r by v r square plus sin omega into t minus rv by r cube into omega. So that is what we derived for the ER expression. So for what we derived? We derived the H pi, we derived the ER. Now again we have to derive the what is E theta. Why? Because we already derived what is the curl of H bar theta component. So by using the same expression, same formula, again you have to calculate what is the E theta. So now how we are going to calculate E theta from this expression? So I'm just going back here, how I can calculate ER is ready. So now how can I calculate E theta? So the E theta can be calculated by using the same formula, but here del cross of H bar theta component only we are going to take with respect to dt. So now I have in my hand what is del cross H bar theta component. So this is my component, I have to do the integration with respect to t again. So if you did this one, so here 1 by epsilon is a constant, I am directly going what is the integration part of this one. So here this is an ideal sin theta by 4 pi, this is a constant, ideal sin theta by 4 pi is a constant, and after that we have to take integration with respect to t for this the first element. So how we are going to take the integration for the first element is, so again minus omega square by rv square, and after that cos omega t integration is simply sine omega into t minus r by v by with respect to t, that's why W is a constant will come, and after that here minus W by omega by R square into V. So what is the integration part of sine? Is in minus cos. So that means minus into minus, directly I am writing plus here. So cos into omega into t minus R by V by R square into V. So this is the second component. So if you go for the third component integration, so again here plus what is the cos integration is simply sine. So sine of t omega into t minus R by V by, so again omega will come here, omega into R cube term is there. So this is exactly what we needed. This is the E theta component. So if you want to simplify, you can simplify this one by using omega square, and omega are going to be cancelled here. And in the second term, so here 2 times I written this R square V, so no need of this one. Simply whenever you are doing integration, R square V by W will come. So if you go for the third one, sine this one, so here there is no omega terms, but we can cancel omega term and omega term here. So now finally you can rewrite this expression. So this is the ER theta component, we already got it. Now we are going to calculate what is the E theta component. So just I am rewriting my expression. So E theta is equal to ideal sine theta by 4 pi epsilon. I am simply giving epsilon is here, and minus omega and omega is going to be cancelled. So that's why here minus omega by R into V square. So here I am writing only minus omega into this term, and after that omega and omega get cancelled. So that's why here omega is not required, by R square V is required, R square V. So and after that, so there is no requirement here, this is simply plus sine of this term. So now we got our two terms, one is ER and E theta. So far what derived at this particular point P is how we are going to get electric field components, how we are going to get magnetic field components at that point. So that means finally we derived the three components. They are, one is E theta, one is ER, another one is H pi, that is earlier we discussed. So these three components we got it at that point P. So but what is my aim is, I have to calculate how much radiation resistance or how much radiation power I am going to get element. So if you see this one, so we got the H pi is like this, ER is this like this, E theta is like this. So this is a magnetic component in the direction of pi, this is an electric field components in the direction of R as well as in the direction of theta. So from this, so we have the two more components in each field. If you observe this one, here we are having the two terms, here we are having the two terms, here we are having the three terms. Now what is the significance of these terms? I am going to explain now. So if you observe the first one, that is H pi, that is a magnetic field component in the direction of pi. So if you observe clearly, there are two terms are available here. So first I am going to talk about what is the first term or the first significance of the first term. If you observe, so here there is an ideal sine theta by 4 pi is multiplied with minus omega into sine omega t dash by RV. So here what is t dash is, so the t dash are commonly taken as, this is a t minus R by V. So that is what we learned in the previous section. So now t dash is equal to t minus R by V. So here what is the first significance from this? The term which is inversely proportional to the 1 by R. So the term is inversely proportional to the 1 by R. This term you can name it as a radiation field. So this is implies that radiation field. So if you got, so what is the significance of this radiation field is, simply it indicates that how much power is radiated from the from a point at P. So this simply indicates how much power is going to radiated. So if you see the second term, so this term is consisting of R square. That means that is inversely proportional to the 1 by r square term, that is 1 by r square. This term, that is the complete term, here name it as an induction field. So this is your name it as an induction field. So this is the radiation field, this is the induction field. So what induction field significance is, so whenever you are using this term, this simply indicates that how much energy is stored in the term of magnetic fields. That entire term is given by this 1 by r square term. So now this is the 2 points regarding to the 1 by r term, and second one is the 1 by r square term. So now my third significance is, at what point we are going to make both magnitudes are equal. So if you observe the expression, so ideal sin theta by 4 pi is the common for both. But what about the remaining terms? I can say that, so minus omega by rb should be equal to 1 by r square. So at this condition, I can say that both magnitudes are same. So I am taking the only positive magnitudes. So that's why from this I can take r square and r get cancelled. So I can say that r is equal to, so r is equal to v by w. So here v by w, so we all know that w is equal to 2 pi f. So this is 2 pi f. And again we have the one more formula, lambda f is equal to c. So c or velocity here. So what is v by f is equal to, c is equal to lambda f means this will be equal to lambda by 2 pi. So at what condition this radiation field as well as induction field are equal is at the condition of r is equal to lambda by 2 pi. Sometimes people may can write this is approximately equal to lambda by 6, almost equal to. So this is what exactly the condition for equal magnitudes. But now again my point here is, if you observe 1 by r term and 1 by r square term, so both are giving the both magnitudes, same magnitudes at a particular condition r is equal to lambda by 2 pi. But here, so what is the significance of exactly radiation field is, if r is very small suppose, that means these r values are very small. That is what our field, that suppose this is an element here far away at a distance of r, that r is very small. That means what, the r is close to the our electric element. So there is a small element, right, what we discussed earlier. So from here to here r is very small, then what will happen is this term is going to be dominate. That means what, induction field is going to be dominate instead of radiation field. So that is the problem. So whenever you are going for the very close distances, here the second term is dominating. That means the energy stored term is dominating instead of energy radiating term. So now you can also name it this radiation field. If suppose if here again r is again very far away from the element, suppose here r is moving towards very far distances, and for that condition what will happen, r square term again diminish. So we have the only radiation field. So you can also name it this one as a far field. So at that particular long distances it will only act and the remaining term will become vanish. So now that is also one of our significance. If you go for the next one, suppose at steady states, suppose the all currents are constants. At that particular time, what will happen to this is that I can name it as a point number 4. So at the steady state conditions, what will happen here is the radiation field is vanish. So the radiation field is absent. At what conditions? For steady state currents. If you go for the fifth point, so here I am going to come to the conclusion from the all above significances. The final statement you can say that whenever the 1 by r term and 1 by r square terms are there, the 1 by r term is always give the how much energy is released from that electrical element, and 1 by r square term is always gives the how much energy is stored within the device. Okay, so the above mentioned 6 points are related to only H5 component. I didn't discuss about the what about ER and what about the E theta. So now we will see what are the components exist in the ER and E theta. So if you observe clearly, there is a 2 ideal cos theta 4 pi epsilon, and here there is an r square term, here there is an r cube term. And if you observe the E theta, you have the r by r term, 1 by r square term, 1 by r cube term. So we know that what indicates 1 by r term. So from the electric field components, my first significance is, so the E theta component consisting of, this is a radiation field component. We all know that this is a radiation field, and also it consisting of, there is another field, that is induction field. Okay, so now again one more field also there. That field is inversely proportional to the cube of the distance, that is 1 by r cube term. So now what is this 1 by r cube term? You can name it as an electrostatic field. So that 1 by r cube term is an electric field, or you can also say that it is an electrostatic field. So now again if you observe the second significance, that is from the ER. So what is the ER component here is, here ER term only consisting of induction field, it is not containing the any radiation field, and also it is also having the electrostatic field. Okay. So far what we did, simply we calculated what are the components in the electrical and magnetic fields. So if you see the electric fields are ER and E theta, and we have the H as a magnetic field. So now what is my final destination is, I have to calculate how much power is radiating by any alternating current element at a distance of R. So in that process, so I have to calculate what is the power radiated. So now my topic is the power radiated by alternating current element. Alternating current element. So if you observe this one, what is the power? So if you have the electric field components and magnetic field components, now how we are going to derive how much power it is radiated? So we have in our Poynting theorem. So from that Poynting theorem definition, the Poynting theorem will give us E cross H. So E is the electric field, H is the magnetic field. So whenever we are taking the cross product, so now we can write the what is the expression from this is already both are in r and theta components only. So now I am writing my expression AR cap, A theta cap, A pi cap, and this is an ER, E theta, E pi, and after that this is an HR, H theta, H pi. So now this is what our cross multiplication. So ER, E theta, E pi, ER, E theta, E pi, HR, H theta, H pi. We already know that the component of ER and ER present and E pi already 0. And again we know that the HR and H pi are zeros and only H pi is there. So now how can I calculate this determinant? So simply by using, so AR multiplied with E theta into H pi, it should be multiplied with the second one, both are zeros, so just leave it AR cap, and observe the second one minus of, so just leave this row and this column, ER and H pi, ER and H pi, this is an A theta component. And what about the FL component? This is also 0, this is also 0, so entire term get vanished. So if you observe this one, here it is an E theta H pi AR cap, ER H pi A theta cap. So from this I can also write my P is n simply PR into AR cap plus P theta into A theta cap plus P pi into A pi cap. So just observe the both sides, I will get the only two terms, that is AR is present and the second one is A theta is present. So from this, what is my conclusion? The power radiated per unit area, what it is exactly giving from the Poynting theorem is the power radiated per unit area. I am going to take now. So here I am having the PR term in the R direction, I am having the P theta term in the theta direction. So from this I can write my PR is equal to E theta into H pi, and the second one is P theta is equal to minus ER into H pi. Okay. To simplify this PR and P theta, we need E theta H pi components and ER and H pi components. So I already have them on the board. So I am going to use these two equations and I am going to calculate what is the what is the power radiated in the direction of R, what is the power radiated in the direction of theta. So now I have my formula, PR is equal to E theta into H pi. So now PR is equal to E theta into H pi. So just I am substituting both equations at a time. So what is E theta we have in our hand? That is simply ideal sin theta by 4 pi epsilon is multiplied with minus omega sin omega t dash by V square into R plus cos omega t dash by V into R square plus sin omega t dash by W into R cube is again multiplied with what? H pi. So the H pi formula is again ideal sin theta by 4 pi. So for my convenience I am writing the same expression, ideal sin theta by 4 pi is multiplied with, simply the remaining terms are minus omega into sin omega t dash by R into V plus cos omega t dash by R square. So now this is what the PR, power radiated in the direction of R. So the ideal sin theta 4 pi epsilon, and it should be multiplied with minus omega this one R term and R square term, R cube term, and H pi is ideal sin theta by 4 pi minus omega sin R term and also cos omega t by R square term. So now I am going to do the simplification from this multiplication. So just simplify it. Here there are 3 terms, here there are 2 terms. So the total power is given by PR is equal to, so ideal sin theta by 4 pi epsilon naught, ideal sin theta by 4 pi. So here totals I am writing the square. So simply I can write ideal sin theta by 4 pi whole square, and again it should be multiplied with 1 by epsilon by, because it just constant only once. So here the remaining terms I am going to multiply here, minus omega into minus omega, so omega square sin square omega t. So I can simply write, okay, so now 1 by epsilon minus omega into omega, omega square into sin theta sin square of omega t dash by, here V square R, here into R, R square, that means V cube into R square. So that is what first term multiplication. So again I am going for the second with the first term. So here minus plus minus, so that minus omega into sin omega t dash into cos omega, see omega also there, so omega into cos omega t dash by R into R cube, this is V square, so V square into R cube, so V square into R cube. Again second term with is this second term